The Philadelphia Eagles have been navigating a storm of offensive struggles this season, and it seems every week brings another twist to the story. Nick Sirianni confirmed on Monday that Kevin Patullo will continue as the offensive play caller, but that decision has done little to quiet the growing frustration surrounding this unit. The issues aren't isolated to one player or one position. It's become a broader reflection of a team that has so much talent, but continues to struggle to turn it into consistent production on the field. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback at the center of this storm, has been under a microscope for weeks. His performances have been inconsistent, often faltering in critical moments. And while some of the blame can be placed on play calling, Hurts has missed reads, mishandled throws, and failed to process defenses in a way that we saw from him during his MVP-caliber campaigns. There's no question that a strong offensive coordinator can elevate a quarterback, just as Shane Steichen did when Hurts was nearly the MVP runner-up or when Kellen Moore guided him to Super Bowl success. This season, however, Patullo hasn't found that magic touch, and Hurts himself bears some responsibility for the underwhelming results, since he's the one making the decisions in the pocket. The struggles extend far beyond the quarterback position. The offensive line, which is supposed to be the backbone of this offense, has been disappointing despite enormous investments in talent. Jordan Mailata, one of the highest-paid left tackles in football, alongside Larnell Dickerson at left guard, Cam Jurgens at center, and Lane Johnson at right tackle, have all failed to provide consistent protection. Injuries have compounded these issues, particularly for Lane Johnson, but the inability to create running lanes or sustain push and pass protection has been glaring. Saquon Barkley, one of the premier running backs in the league, has been limited not by his own talent, but by the line's struggles to establish any rhythm in the run game. Explosive plays are few and far between, and the efficiency of the offense has suffered as a result. On top of that, the execution has been inconsistent, with missed assignments and a string of penalties that have backed the Eagles into difficult situations, often forcing them into third-and-long scenarios where the probability of success drops dramatically. Penalties and execution woes have been a recurring theme. Players themselves have repeatedly said that it comes down to doing the little things right. Yet week after week, these fundamental issues resurface. The Eagles currently have one of the highest rates of 3-and-outs in the league, largely because negative plays or penalties on early downs have created nearly impossible situations on third down. Add in the lackluster creativity in play calling, and it's a recipe for stagnation. The blame doesn't rest solely on Kevin Patullo. As the offensive coordinator, he is executing the vision of Nick Sirianni, whose scheme has faced scrutiny for years. Route concepts have often been predictable and vanilla, relying on individual talent rather than system design to create opportunities. In a league where other teams employ intricate pre-snap motion, misdirection, and versatile route trees to consistently scheme players open, the Eagles have lagged behind. Even when pre-snap motion is utilized, it often serves merely to identify defensive coverage rather than to actively manipulate it and create advantageous matchups. When you compare this to offenses like those run by Ben Johnson, Kyle Shanahan, or Sean McVay, the difference is striking. The Eagles' offense has struggled to implement innovative concepts that challenge defenses in ways that maximize their talent. Kevin Patullo has leaned on influences like Sean Gailey, who is not widely recognized for creative offensive scheming, and that has translated into an offense that can feel predictable and uninspired at times. The rhythm, timing, and consistency of play calling have all been issues, leaving Hurts hesitant and struggling to find his comfort zone in the pocket. The contrast is stark when watching other teams execute with fluidity and purpose. The lack of similar cohesion in Philadelphia exposes the limitations of both scheme and execution. Yet despite these issues, there are glimpses of potential. Sirianni has historically shown a willingness to adapt mid-season, making in-season adjustments and shifting responsibilities when necessary. He has transformed the offensive identity of the team over the years, moving from a pass-heavy approach to a more balanced, run-focused attack that highlighted Saquon Barkley's abilities. The question now is whether any tweaks within the current structure can reignite this struggling offense. Sirianni has indicated that everything has been under review, with the goal of evaluating different approaches to play calling, schemes, and overall offensive design. These statements suggest that while Patullo will remain the play caller, there may still be subtle shifts in strategy intended to better leverage the talent on this roster. The statistics paint a concerning picture. The Eagles rank 24th in total yards and yards per game, 18th in total touchdowns, 27th in first downs, and are first in 3-and-outs. Their passing efficiency is middling, and while turnovers haven't been rampant, recent games have seen costly mistakes compound the unit's struggles. The running game ranks 22nd in rushing yards, and average yards per carry sit at 24th in the league, underscoring the offensive line struggles. Even with talent like Hurts, Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith, the success rate on plays remains lower than teams with far less talent, highlighting how inefficiency has plagued this group. Some possible solutions have been suggested internally and externally. One of the most straightforward is to involve Hurts more as a runner, incorporating quarterback draws and read options to create easier gains and sustain momentum. Tempo has also been a factor. In games where the Eagles have successfully employed a faster pace, Hurts appears more comfortable and decisive, leading to improved execution and better overall flow. Integrating more RPOs and under-center plays could also force defenses to account for dual threats in both Hurts and Barkley, opening up opportunities in both the run and pass games. These adjustments aren't radical, but they require buy-in from both the players and coaching staff. They demand a willingness to break from predictable patterns and to trust the skill set of the athletes on the field. It's clear that the talent is present, but translating that talent into consistent, high-level production has been the challenge all season. Without meaningful change, the Eagles risk continuing this frustrating cycle of inefficiency and underperformance, leaving both players and fans craving the breakthrough that could turn this season around. As the Eagles look ahead, the urgency to fix the offense becomes more pronounced. The schedule doesn't get any easier, and upcoming matchups will test the limits of this group. Monday Night Football against the Chargers defense, led by one of the league's brightest young minds, presents a unique challenge, and it puts a spotlight on Patullo's play calling more than ever. The offense can no longer rely on talent alone. Execution and creativity must combine to produce consistent results. Watching Jalen Hurts during these games, it's evident that he's struggling with hesitation and timing, often second-guessing throws that would normally be routine for him. It's a problem that cascades throughout the offense, affecting the tempo, run game, and overall efficiency. When the quarterback isn't confident in the system, everything slows down and the unit begins to feel disjointed, as we have seen in multiple games this season. One of the main issues lies in the line of scrimmage. Despite high salaries and considerable investment, the offensive line has consistently underperformed, failing to open up running lanes or provide the clean pockets Hurts needs to operate effectively. Saquon Barkley's production has suffered as a result, but it's not a matter of talent. Barkley has the vision, agility, and strength to dominate when the trenches are solid. Instead, he's met with immediate contact, forcing him to rely on individual effort to gain positive yardage. This inefficiency trickles into the passing game, as defenses can focus more on covering receivers knowing that Hurts is under pressure from the start. Without adjustments to blocking schemes, better communication, or increased line stability, the offense will continue to stall. Penalties and execution errors have been another thorn in the side of the Eagles. Repeatedly, drives are derailed by missed blocks or holding penalties, and these setbacks create third-and-long situations that are extremely difficult to convert. Even the best designed plays struggle to overcome poor field position or the compounding effect of consecutive negative plays. Coaches and players have echoed the same message: execute the fundamentals, play assignment football, and eliminate penalties. Yet week after week, these same mistakes appear, suggesting a deeper issue with discipline and focus on the field. Until that is addressed, the offense is going to struggle to sustain drives and capitalize on scoring opportunities. Sirianni has acknowledged that changes may be necessary, and while he has opted to keep Patullo as the play caller, there are hints that scheme adjustments are possible. Evaluating different looks, integrating more versatile formations, and perhaps incorporating additional tempo and motion could help unlock the talent already on the roster. The potential for explosive plays exists in this group, but it has been stifled by predictability and hesitation. A quarterback who trusts his coaching staff and a line that consistently executes could transform this offense overnight. The foundation is present. It's now a matter of implementation and execution under pressure. Jalen Hurts himself could be a key component of the solution. Increasing his role as a runner could open up space for Saquon Barkley and create easier completions in the passing game. Design quarterback runs, read options, and situational scrambles could make a significant difference. Hurts' awareness, ability to read defenses, and dual threat capability are underutilized in the current scheme, and a willingness to take on more responsibility in this regard could be the spark the offense needs. It's not about recklessness. It's about strategic risk that forces defenses to respect multiple threats simultaneously. Tempo remains another crucial factor. When the Eagles have moved quickly to the line, executed faster snaps, and minimized delays, the offense has looked more cohesive and confident. Hurts has appeared decisive. Receivers have been able to find openings more efficiently, and running lanes have opened up naturally. Conversely, when the pace slows, the offense becomes predictable, the quarterback overthinks, and defensive units have time to adjust, essentially neutralizing the Eagles' skill advantage. Maintaining tempo, particularly against disciplined defenses, could provide a pathway to sustain drives and increase scoring opportunities. The balance between run and pass also requires reevaluation. The offense has leaned too heavily on predictable passing concepts, while underutilizing both the running game and creative play designs under center. More RPOs, play-action passes, and under-center concepts would force defenses to commit, creating space for both Hurts and Barkley to maximize their impact. The incorporation of misdirection and carefully timed motion could further enhance these opportunities, giving the Eagles a dynamic edge that they have rarely exploited this season. These are not revolutionary changes, but rather adjustments that allow the roster's talent to shine without overcomplicating the system. One cannot ignore the psychological aspect either. The offensive unit's confidence has been shaken by repeated inefficiencies and public scrutiny. Hurts, Barkley, and the receivers must believe in the system and the plays called. Confidence and rhythm are intangible factors that translate directly into execution. If players hesitate, miss cues, or doubt the design, the entire system suffers. Therefore, restoring trust between the coaching staff and players, fostering a clear identity on offense, and emphasizing consistent execution are just as important as any schematic adjustment. Looking at the bigger picture, the Eagles possess one of the most talented offensive rosters in the league. From Hurts' dual-threat ability to Barkley's elite running skills, to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith's explosiveness, the potential for a dominant unit is undeniable. Yet the contrast between potential and performance has been stark. Every game that slips by without significant improvement adds to the pressure and increases scrutiny on both coaches and players. The league is filled with examples of teams transforming through mid-season adjustments, play-calling refinements, and strategic creativity, suggesting that Philadelphia is capable of turning things around if the right decisions are made quickly. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A storm may be brewing in the NFL as whispers around the league suggest tensions are rising between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. The latest chatter comes after Chiefs head coach made comments about the Eagles that have left fans fuming and sparked a flurry of speculation. Sources close to both teams hint that what started as a seemingly casual remark has grown into a talking point that won't fade quietly. According to insiders, the coach's words were far from complimentary. While he didn't go so far as to declare a rivalry, his tone reportedly implied doubts about the Eagles' strategy and questioned their ability to perform under pressure. Fans on social media were quick to pick up on the subtle jab. turning it into a full-blown discussion thread that has dominated forums and sports channels alike. It's classic mind games, one analyst said, but it's definitely stirred the pot in Philly. The Eagles' locker room, sources suggest, is far from pleased. Though the team has publicly brushed off the comments, whispers indicate that some players are taking the criticism personally, fueling an internal determination to respond on the field. The coach's remarks, meant perhaps to intimidate or unsettle an opponent, may have instead fanned the flames of fan loyalty, as Eagles supporters rally online and offline to defend their squad. League insiders are watching closely, suggesting that the tension could add a new layer of drama to any future matchups between these two franchises. Sports talk shows and podcasts have already begun dissecting the implications, speculating whether the coach intended to provoke or if this was an offhand comment blown out of proportion. Meanwhile, fan blogs are buzzing with memes, hot takes, and fiery debates, ensuring that the story will stay alive long after the interview clips circulated. As the NFL landscape continues to evolve, moments like these highlight how off-field remarks can ripple across stadiums, social media, and locker rooms, creating a narrative that sometimes overshadows the game itself. Whether this chatter will translate into on-field fireworks remains to be seen. But for now, the rumor mill is running full throttle, and Chiefs versus Eagles just became a storyline worth following. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.